their overall ability to get the puck out of your own end as quickly as possible?
Well, it's definitely a piece. I think, you know, he had the luxury of playing behind Jonathan Quick, who's very good at it. And, you know, we have the luxury of Johan Hedberg here, who was a great puck handling goalie when I had him in New Jersey. And I think that's one of the things Johan's worked with him on. We try and get him a lot of touches in practice, and I think he's gotten better and better. I think he's an excellent puck handler now.
As somebody who wasn't watching a ton of your guys' practices, I was struck by how loose it was out there. Is that pretty typical of this group?
Yeah, that is typical of our group. I think loose, but they work. You know, I think that's probably the best way to describe it. They enjoy being at the rink. It's loose but productive, I think, is probably the best way. A lot of these guys have been around each other for a long time. They enjoy each other's company. They enjoy being at the rink, and they love the game. So, you know, the battle this year has been to get them to get off the ice and save their energy a little bit, but they bought into that too. You saw Jumbo stayed out there about 2.5 minutes today, so you know, I think they understand the value of energy.
I'm not sure about this, but you were here before Jones showed up, correct? Like, were you part of the process that brought him here?
I was here before we got Jonesy, yes.
Okay, so he's one of those guys that comes from behind Jonathan Quick, and we all think, you know, Bernier and Scrivens and him, we all think they're pretty good,
yeah,
but we're never sure until they get their 50 games or whatever it is. Can you sort of take us through the process of a coach getting a goalie when he's thinks the guy's probably pretty good, but he's not sure?
Yeah. Well, you know, I had the luxury, I spent a month with him at the World Championships. I was one of the coaches with Todd, and he backed up Mike Smith, so we got to spend a lot of time, you know, after practice. He was the guy that we worked with, and so I got to know him, you know, as a person and as a goalie a little bit in that situation prior to us acquiring him. You know, at the time, I didn't even know he was on. I didn't have the San Jose job, and I didn't know he was on San Jose's radar. So I did have a little bit of a history with him, so I knew a little bit about what we were getting. But the credit there goes to, you know, the scouts that identified him on, you know, such a small body of work at the NHL level, and saw the potential. And I think more importantly than saw the potential, you see all those guys you mentioned have physical skills. I think it's his mental ability, his composure, you know, his the attitude he brings to the way he can shake off tough moments and reset. That's the stuff that I think separates goalies, and he's got that.
Pete, sort of a two-parter here, but you mentioned the off days and whatnot. Was that a way to kind of get the veterans to buy in to you quickly? And it seemed like they really liked the off days. And also explain what it's like telling Joe Thornton, who you guys have talked about how much he loves hockey.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, was this the same with every team in New Jersey and Florida and Kitchener, or is there something about this group in particular that gives you that much confidence?
Well, I think it's team to team. You know, I think a coach's job is to reinstill belief continuously, you know, especially when it's wavering or there isn't any. So I think regardless of whether you believe it or not, that's your job. But it's a lot easier to sell if you really believe it. And, you know, you mentioned some of those teams. Some of those teams I really believed in, and some of those nobody believed in. But you know, this group, you know, I really felt it was genuine, you know, that they could get themselves back on track quickly, and we just had to reset and get back to our foundation.
Thank you, Peter. You know, on Tuesday when you came from the airport, there was a word that really impacted me when you say that there were changes on the teams, like soul-searching. How that changed and it's helping the players to be winners right now?
Well, you know, I think this group hit rock bottom last summer. You know, missing the playoffs and coach moving on, and you know, all the things surrounding it, all the noise around the group. You know, and I think they all went home in the summer and and you know, I've been the benefactor of them, you know, hitting rock bottom, and you know, when you have good people that get to that point, they look in the mirror and they don't want to be there again. And I think you know, that's the group that I stepped into in training camp in September, and they've you know, they've just taken off.
Yeah, this is also kind of a big picture question. When did you know you were getting buy-in from this group? Or is